cannot make it. I don't know, because I see more people RSVP. So let's see. Maybe you can just, join us as they show up. Uh, Okay, so you have the link in there. We're going to be talking about getting ready for your internship. And this is like a picture of just like last year students and in some of the internships that they were doing. As you know, this is like a requirement of the program, which I think that it's really an advantage because many other programs, like for example, where I did my master's, they didn't require an internship, but this program requires you to do that, which it could be in a way a little bit stressful to find the internship, right? But it really, really, really will help you when you graduate because you will have that experience in planning. For the internship, you will do it in the summer. Most students will do it in the summer, but you could also do it in other semesters as well. We just highly encourage you to do it in the summer because this is when you have more time and also there's more opening for internships. It is a 1 credit. You can enroll more credits. Some students enroll, like last year, there was one student who enrolled 3 credits. I don't encourage you to do that just because it's not required and you have to pay extra money for doing that. But some students, might feel that they're dedicating a lot of hours, more than 120 that are required, and they might want to have credit for that. But again, at the end, I don't think it makes any difference. You will graduate with 1 credit and it'll be more affordable to you. And with your 120 hours, if you have extra hours that you didn't get credit for, you can count those towards ISCP. While if you're getting credit for it, you cannot because that doesn't count as like planning experience. It's kind of like double counting. That's the way that IACP sees it because you got credit for it. And then, so again, that's some of the reasons that I don't recommend to do extra credit hours. So what are some of the milestones for the this is just the first year in general, right? So you have you already have an advisor that you have met with, and obviously for this semester, you need to keep that advisor or pick an advisor more formally to be in your professional paper, but that person can also guide you through the process of finding an internship. So again, those are things that you should be doing. Same thing with you already matched with a plan pack mentor, so just kind of take advantage of that. We have been doing some or send an email to everyone so they actually both faculty advisor and plan pack advisor give you comments on your resume and cover letter, and if you have it, a portfolio. And then, so what is important here is that this semester you are thinking, about your internship and also your professional paper, and that you need to create a degree plan for the graduate and professional school. So there's a link in the DPSS, and you have to go in there and say basically what are the remaining classes that you will take. And some of you already in my class, you did kind of outline your path for that. So that's supposed to help you to get ready with this. And then it's very important for the internship. If you're a domestic student, you need to register in the summer. So which means that you have to have your degree plan ready before the summer, right? So just make sure that you are doing meeting those deadlines. So if you're a domestic student, you could do your degree plan a little bit later. It will be at the again, just like just when the next semester starts. Obviously, it's always great to get things like done a little bit earlier. The thing is that you don't have to register for the internship course until the fall semester. But the idea is that you do your internship in the summer, because this is when you have the most time, and then you will officially register in the fall, when the price to do that is also cheaper, right? Unfortunately, that's not an alternative for international students, just like based on university rules. And I'm going to like just stop there and see if there's any questions about that before I move on. There's no questions? All right, and then so this is in terms of like submitting you need to do an internship report, and I will talk more about that. So the internship report you submitted to the program coordinator. So I will be basically like the one kind of advising you in these like internships. And for those of you that are doing in the summer, the timeline is not, it's just to submit that in the summer, right? So there's like, I will show which dates and all that in a minute. But if you are a domestic student, you will submit that report actually in December, because you were registered for the class. Or you have until then. You can. I encourage you to submit in August, since you already did the internship in the summer. But what happens is that a lot of students like take their time to do their report, and officially the grade is not. It's actually a pass fail. It's not out until the end of the semester that you register. In this case, being the fall. So a question that I get a lot is what counts as a internship in urban planning? Well, it's just sometimes the students want to do some research, right, with like some organizations in campus, or maybe they want to work with a real estate company, or it's like engineering company, maybe social work, or even education. And the skills that planners get could be applied to many different types of jobs. So it is possible that we can count that as a planning internship, or something, again, in those other things that might look a bit more loose, right? Or maybe working on a nonprofit, or doing a campaign. I don't know. So there's a lot of possibilities. What I need to know is like what you will be doing. Are you applying the skills that you learn in class, right? That might be related to community engagement, to analysis, to decision making, to policy making, those kinds of things. So I have to see a letter of like what that might be from your potential employer, and then I can prove that. And that might include, again, research in campus. What is important is like 120 hours. It could be of paid or unpaid work in order to satisfy that requirement. These are the different skills that the Planning Accreditation Board says that you should be gaining in your master's program. They're divided in three: values, knowledge, and skills. So to give you an example, values is examining past and current systems critically. So your internship should help you to do that. Knowledge, understanding the evolution of current practice of planning, skills, implementing planning process, and community engagement, right? So basically we look at this and say like, are you gonna be doing this? Until now, I haven't seen any, but I only have experience with 16 students so far. Until now, I haven't seen anything that it would be like, I don't approve that as like planning. I think maybe some of the questions were more about, I'm going to be doing research on transportation, and that yes, that definitely qualifies, or I'm going to be doing something related to real estate, so those that qualify. There's like a guide that I have shared with you guys. It's about finding graduate internships and jobs, and there's a lot of like good details in there. I can post this like in a minute. I'm gonna stay in the slides, but you also should have it in your Google Calendar. And this was shared with you in the summer, and then in the fall, and now in the spring. Because like the timeline, this is something that it was actually created with the Association of Student Planners. So the timeline actually started like at the beginning of last semester of how you can get ready for your internship. So obviously you can find jobs in many places, including just local cities. There's like tons of smaller cities in Texas, including Bryan and College Station. They always have positions, the Brazos Valley Council of Governments, maybe metropolitan planning organizations, local housing authorities, many private consulting firms, nonprofits and advocacy groups, and non-governmental organizations. And obviously we have a list or that already Tina passed to you of like career fair participating firms that you should be looking at. We post a lot of the jobs in the Aggie planners on LinkedIn. So anything that we get, you see professors, we have a lot of Windia doing a lot of that, just like posting. I also do that. People contact us like, oh, we would like to hire Aggie. We just put that in there, their own alumni, post stuff. So always be paying attention to the Aggie planners on LinkedIn. That's the main way to promote jobs. Sometimes I send it in the listserv, but that's kind of like less popular that I do that. More likely to put it in LinkedIn. So obviously for these are pictures from the last year, the students at the career fair. You should be doing that next week. You need to like register for that. Also, you can sign up for interviews. Again, you can upload your resume. And Tina sent that information. I also sent it again. So just make sure that you do this. I also sent another email about like by Monday, updating your resume or biography. And that's something you can do on your own, or you can email me and Windia about it, right? It's like basically in those, it's like a Canva link, and then you can just use PNG or JPEG to kind of like put an updated resume that you want to put in there. Or again, we can do it for you. Then we will have a table there and kind of like have a flyer, share it with people. But also if you put it in the link that Tina sent, the employers will have it that way as well. I already like mentioned these, like, the career fairs last week, and weeks ago we said connect with faculty, connect with Plan Pack, mentors in order to like check your resume and cover letters and just like get you ready. So if you haven't, please do that. And if you have any revisions, because I'm sure you will have, just like you have those resources. Other places that are good for finding jobs is the American Planning Association Career Center. Actually, this information is also in that guide that I sent you. So if you see any links, they're not going to be able to click in here, but in the other place, in the guide. The APA Texas chapter has just announcements. Also, Planet Peasant has like job boards as well. If you're interested in this presentation, there's like a little information about where everybody got their internship and what did they do, what skills they apply, and I will be collecting this information actually for you as well, so we can keep track of what you guys have been, and maybe this gives you some ideas of like firms or which skills you should have, stuff like that. So this I only have like the previous class, or now the graduating class. There's like 16 students. So these are the companies that they work for last year. So I think like, for example, Shuyang, that's like in China. So some of the students, you know, if you're from another country and you can find something in your own country, a lot of students do these things in Zoom, or some of them, you know, might go back to their countries in the summer. You know, this is kind of like a possibility. I think this one was like in Zoom in particular. And then we have like AECOM, Dating Comfort. All these are things that are local. So Land for Community Management Services, Alliance Transportation Group, LGA Engineering, you see that it hired 2 people. That, for example, those ones are in blue, the Center for Houston Future. It hired 3 people. So you can see again the variety of firms. And, you know, it's always good to just kind of like go to, you know, firms' websites and just like check if they have anything. And if they don't have anything, you can always contact them, because they might not have thought about, oh, we do need, we have been waiting to put that post, but it's February and it's summer. So in their eyes, and they're not thinking like we have to post this now for some firms, right? They leave it to the last minute, and that time students might already have found something. So this is just like again, it only has the 16 students from last year. The majority 8 got like something in the private sector, 4 in the government sector, and 4 in nonprofit. And as I said before, the jobs could be paid or non-paid. You see like 5 students got jobs that were not paid. So all of those got jobs that were kind of local, like City of Bryan, City of College Station, then other nonprofits, and their priority was to stay local and not having, you know, to go somewhere else. And some of these students, they also found paid internships after the fact, because you have to register for these, right? And then choose an internship. So some of them committed to an internship that it wasn't paid, and then they found an internship that was paid, but it would not be reflected here because that's not what they registered for. So again, you could decide to wait, right? Or you could have 2 internships. Remember, if it's unpaid, I highly encourage you still that it's like 120 hours. So you still have more time in the summer to find something that is like paid. I know it's kind of like, you know, it's important, you know, to pay your bills. And then, so we have the other students getting paid. Of those that were paid, they got paid. I think I can remember it was like I think maybe 13 was the least, and then $230, and the average payment was like about $21.73 of the ones that got paid. How to find an internship? As I said, just talk to your graduate advisor, apply, right? For all those companies, go to the career fair, or I said all those companies online. Just seek advice from the Blackpack members. Check out the LinkedIn and all those other places. And then, so you will, as I said, just kind of like remember the dates of registration for the international students and then the domestic students. I will start bugging you about like, did you find anything by like April? And then sometimes, you know, I know that you would not formally register until fall, but a lot of the students do register way earlier. Like in May, they're already doing their registrations with Tina for this like class, and it's because they already like found something and they're going to get it started. And then obviously just submit your report for the supervisor, and I will talk more about that. there's like I have this like internship log where I collect this information about like, you will tell me about the description of responsibilities, the number of hours that you will work, if it was a paid internship or not, how much. So that's kind of like some of the stuff that I show you is like based on this internship log. You need to fill out a variable credit form, and there is a link in there. There's also, again, in this Google Calendar that I sent you, there's a link to the variable credit form. And this is the form that you officially will register for the class within. You need the variable credit form for the internship, for the professional paper, and for any other course that you're taking, maybe with an advisor. Less likely for you guys to do that. But some students, for example, with the PhD, they do research and take an independent class, independent study with a professor. But for you, you don't need it for those two things, the internship and the professional paper. And then this is kind of like how the form looks like. If you, will share it, or if you can find the link. And then I think that now, before it's like you need to email to us, but I feel maybe Tina, you have like use a DocuSign now.
Yeah,
so
it's the DocuSign form.
Yeah, so it's easier. Yeah, and then I have to sign this as well to approve the internship. That's why you also need the information of like a letter from your employer. And this is kind of like the information that I need. When I finished, I thought about the letter for the employer. It's just like, it will say, what you would be doing and how much you will get paid. And yeah, any information that help me determine, is this a planning internship? But some of them are very easy, right? It's just that a description of your responsibilities, number of hours that you will work, and whether it's like paid or non-paid. Okay, so to fill it out, the information is actually in this like internship log. The course plan is like, 684. Then you could say like, if you're because some of you might get internships that are in another state, you might decide to go to California. Some of you might want to go to the Neanderthals. I have heard some of those plans that you guys have. So then you will, if it's outside of Texas, in absentia, you will put yes in here. The classification is G7. You will have like an attached letter for the job description. Then there's a little statement about like how this internship will help you with the values, knowledge, and skills. And then you should put 1 credit hour if you're getting 100, if you're doing about 120 hours, as I said and recommended. You can put me as faculty advisor. So I'm actually like, in the past, it was like because a professional paper, you have some other advisor and it's based on your team. But these ones, I'm all doing them all, so I can keep track of like what everybody's doing for the internship. And then the final report dates that you have in that form is going to be July 29 for summer and December 5th for fall. And I don't need like interim reports, just kind of like the final report. There's an evaluation for your report. So basically you will talk about your work experience, just kind of mention the basic tasks, responsibilities, everyday activities. As you can see, there's a portion of ethics and decision making. So just like observations on decisions that you saw, or ethical issues like in your workplace, and how would you apply the code of ethics, right? So this is kind of based on your own observation and just kind of like using your critical thinking to think, oh, maybe I was asked to do something, I felt uncomfortable, or I saw this issue, or I saw this, that they did this, I don't know, like they incorporate more community engagement or something that is necessary. So it's just kind of a reflection on the ethics and values of planning decision making. And you will be able to demonstrate those and talk about those values, knowledge, and skills. As I said before, did you follow instructions, and it is a good paper of quality. Those are some of the final things that you will be need to do. And then for this one, because it's with me, I do allow you to use like ChatGPT, but or Grammarly AI, but it has to basically, you have to like the ones that, if you are taking classes with me, so you have to report you have to make reports of like how you use that, and the similarity index, it should be like closer to 0. I know, like if you put something in Grammarly, sometimes it's going to be like 20-25% in terms of like similarity index, right? But the idea is that you get that to lower to 0. For the professional paper, again, that's going to be like different based on your own faculty member and what they allow or don't allow. I think that's it. We'll see if there's like any questions about what we discuss. I'm going to put a link again. These are in the Google Calendar. This link is for the variable credit form, which you will need again for your professional paper and also internship. And then there's the other link that it is for the internship log. And again, I will have just start sending this like in April for you guys, like already would have gotten internships or start getting internships by then. And then I have the guide that students made about finding graduate internships and jobs, and they have very good recommendations in there. So you can, this is a way for them to discuss their experience. So make sure that you check that out. And obviously, if you want to also revise your resume in the resume book, make sure to do that. And Tina, I don't know if you have anything else to add about career fair or anything else about internships.
I'm moving with career fair. We have about 60 firms. I'll get the list out to students today. I'm tweaking a few things, but I'm finalizing everything. And yeah, we have about 60 firms coming in. So
That's great. That's
yeah,
a lot.
yeah, should be good.
Well, excellent. Any other questions or thoughts? I hope that people are feeling good about it. And get to work so you can find an internship that is what you're looking for. Always, I guess one of the recommendations from the students is like, if you get an offer, you can always ask the employer if you can have a few more weeks before making a decision. Some students might have multiple offers, and that's always a great thing. And again, if you cannot, don't get discouraged. Everybody always finds something. All right, so I think that's it from us. If you have any other questions, just feel free to email me or email Tina about it. And I hope to see you at the career fair next week. All right, so take care then. Bye.